Hey, welcome. You know that old saying, use it or lose it? Well, it turns out it's not just a saying, it's actually a deep scientific principle for how our brains work. Today, we're going to dive into exactly how your brain decides what's worth keeping and what gets tossed.
I mean, isn't this the weirdest thing? You can probably sing a random song lyric from like 20 years ago, no problem. But the name of someone you just met, poof, gone. It feels totally random, right? But here's the secret. It's not random at all. There's actually a brilliant logic behind it.
Yeah, that seemingly strange logic, it's all explained by a really cool model from cognitive science. And the best part is, you don't need to be a brain surgeon to get it. Nope, we're going to break it all down with a super simple metaphor. Okay, so here's the metaphor. I want you to picture a huge, dense forest. Now think of every single thing you know, a fact, a name, how to ride a bike, as its own unique path through that forest. Some of those paths are like wide, clear highways, super easy to travel. Others, they're totally overgrown, you can barely even see them. This one simple idea, well, it's the key to everything.
Because you see, your brain isn't just some dusty old attic where you store stuff. No way. It's an incredibly active system that's constantly rating and scoring every single memory you have. In some of the big cognitive models, like one called ACTR, they give this rating a name, an activation score.
So let's get our terms straight real quick. Scientists call one single piece of info, like, say, your dog's name or a password, a memory chunk. And in our forest metaphor, you guessed it, each memory chunk is one of those paths. Super simple. All right, so what about activation? Well, that's the score. It's the rating your brain gives to each memory chunk. And this is so important. The score isn't about how valuable the memory is. It's all about how easy it is to get to. So, back to our forest, the activation score is just how clear that path is. Is it a paved superhighway or a little trail that's almost disappeared? And it all boils down to this. The higher the activation score, the faster and more reliable the memory. A high score means a clear path. It means you can just zoom right to that piece of information without even thinking about it. And this whole dynamic, elegant system of scoring memories, it has a name. It's called base-level learning. And really, it's the fundamental engine that decides if a memory gets stronger or just fades away, all based on one thing, how often you've used it in the past. Which brings us to the two giant forces that are constantly battling it out for control of your memories. On one side, you have practice, the builder, and on the other, you have time, the great destroyer. This lays it out perfectly. Think about it. Every time you use a memory, every single time, you're basically walking down that forest path. You're stomping down the weeds, kicking away the branches. You're making it stronger and clearer. But then there's time. The longer you ignore a path, the more the forest grows back over it, until eventually, it's almost gone. Let's dig into the power of practice for a second. Every single time you access one of those memory chunks, its activation score gets a little nudge upwards, and it all adds up. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. That means you make fewer mistakes and you recall it way, way faster. I mean, that's literally what practice makes perfect is all about. But, oh man, time is a beast. In between every use, a memory's activation score is always slowly taking downwards. This is what scientists call decay. At first, you might not notice it much. Maybe it just takes you an extra second to pull up a name. But if you let too much time go by, that score can drop so low that you get what's called a retrieval failure. The path is just too overgrown. You can't find it. That's it. You've forgotten. Okay, so that's the theory. But what does this look like in the real world? Like in that split second when you're trying to remember something right now, let's watch the process unfold. All right, so picture this. Your brain needs a piece of information. Let's say it's what's the capital of Australia. In that instant, it's like a starting gun goes off. All the related memories, Canberra, Sydney, maybe even Melbourne, they all start racing each other to your consciousness. And who wins the race? Every single time, it's the memory chunk that has the highest activation score in that precise moment. And this little race has huge consequences. The memories with high scores, the ones you use all the time, they get a massive head start. That's why they pop into your head so fast. They're also way less likely to lose the race, which means fewer mistakes. And here's a cool part. Info you used recently gets a huge advantage because its score just hasn't had time to decay yet. It's still fresh. So what actually makes up that final score? Well, the model basically looks at three things. Number one, how many times have you used this memory? Ever. Your total practice. Number two, when did you first learn it? And number three, and this one is a biggie,
How recently did you last use it? It's that powerful mix of total practice and how fresh it is in your mind.
Okay, let's zoom out and put a bow on this. What does this whole really elegant model mean for you and me? For how we learn, how we remember, how we live our lives?
This really is the heart of it all. Your memory is not a static object. It's a living, breathing thing. It's this constant dance between two partners, the strengthening that comes from using a memory and the fading that always comes with time. So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Your mind is not a computer hard drive. You don't just save a file and it's there forever. It's more like a living landscape. And the paths in that landscape, they are carved, cleared, and maintained, or left to get overgrown, entirely by where you put your attention and your effort. In the end, what you choose to use is what you get to keep. And that really leaves us with a pretty powerful question for you to think about. Every single day, you're the one tending to the forest of your mind. So knowing that your attention is the tool that clears the paths, which memories will you choose to visit? Which paths will you keep clear? And which ones are you going to let the forest reclaim?